G'day, it's Simon at South OC Cars and Coffee. Hey, no James this week. He's actually at the Tokyo Auto Salon, so I'm going to have to fumble my way through the exotics. So I'll do the best that I possibly can, but it is a crazy morning this morning. I thought it was going to be a little bit quieter, but man, you should see what we've got here. There's a Carrera GT, there's a beautiful Miura, there is an all-carbon fibre BMW 2002, there's a classic old Zephyr, this is an incredible old Citron delivery van, so much stuff, absolutely incredible. Hey, don't forget, if you come to South OC Cars and Coffee, please remember, respect our rules. No speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes on the streets of San Clemente and getting on and off those freeways. Well, there's a ton to see. Let's go for a walk and check some stuff out. Starting off the exotics row, very, very strong. Have a look at this Carrera GT, just a beautiful car. Is this Porsche's first hypercar? I guess it kind of is. Obviously the 918 was their follow-up. Is it a supercar? Comment below what you think it is. I mean, for me, this car is definitely, one of the things I can say about a CGT is definitely probably one of the best sounding cars that has ever been built. They are just absolutely amazing, wonderful. If you can see it in there, it's actually a mid-brown and black interior in there with a silver outside. That mesh look, you know, they did a great job of designing the Carrera GT, still keeping with those sort of Porsche lines and changing the perspective on the car, but still making it look like it belongs within the family. I absolutely love this car. It is one of the most iconic cars in history. Next to it, another one that I put in exactly the same class. This is a Miura S. This belongs to Alex. If you saw the video last week, Alex brought in a wonderful 1968 911 that actually won the first 24 Hours of Nürburgring. A classic car, classic history, matching numbers. This is another one of his cars. He's also won Car of the Week for. This Miura has gone through a wonderful restoration. I believe all the outside was done, but the interior, from memory, he was able to leave exactly as it was. But it's just such a beautiful car. This, of course, is really the first of what I think consider as the supercar, mid-engine car. So this really changed the dynamic of where cars were going. Up until this point, everybody was sticking their engines, with the exception obviously of Volkswagen or Porsche, they were sticking their engines in the front. This thing was really the first mid-engine car and caused Ferrari to actually have to change the way they thought about things and think about building mid-engine cars. But there's so many design cues on this car that make it so, so wonderful. I mean, look at this, the lines on the headlight. If you look down there, it almost looks like they are eyelashes above and below the headlight, which is just wonderful. Those wonderful vents in the front. This is such a special car. It's just, for me, I think this is, could be, I think, the most beautiful supercar ever built. Look at that gated shifter in there as well, 5-speed in there. Wonderful, wonderful car, and what a great start to our exotics row, this beautiful Miura and this Carrera GT. In a sea of bright colours, this 296 just stands out to me. What a great build, this beautiful dark grey. And then the offset with the yellow brake calipers and obviously the yellow logos in there and the yellow inset in the seats as well. Wonderful, look at the carbon fibre on the outer of the seat. This is a very, very pretty car. It just looks wonderful on every angle. There's something about Ferrari, they really know how to build cars which have wonderful style but are not overstyled, if that makes sense. And I think that's one of the things that enables them to really stay so timeless in so many of their builds. Now, this particular car, of course, was the first shift with Ferrari away from that mid-engine V8 that they've done in the past. Of course, the 458 Italia and the Speciale was naturally aspirated, and they went to the turbocharged version with the 488. Well, in this, they've actually gone to a hybrid V6 turbo, so actually more power than the previous cars, and certainly the performance on this thing is absolutely outstanding. Comment below though, would you rather Ferrari had stayed with V8s, or are you happy to go to a V6 turbo hybrid if it gives you better performance? Saw these two cars come in earlier and had to put them at the end of the exotics row. They're just such standout cars. This first one, of course, is a Lincoln Zephyr. It's such classic lines now. This, of course, has had all those lines changed with a serious roof chop. This was a style that this car just took on so well, especially when you start covering the wheel arches like we've done here. Really great build, suicide doors. It appears to me just with the styling in this car that the build's probably been done for a little while, but it's still really nice. It's just wonderful, wonderful lines on it. And if you can see in there that gold that's through there, I don't know whether that's actually gold leaf that's been inset to it, but it's really detailed pinstriping, those Frenched in tail lights through there, and just, it's so difficult to chop a roof. So I can't imagine how much work has gone into making this look as beautiful, insetting those those windows the way they've done. Just a wonderful, wonderful car on every direction. Now next to it, another car I want to talk about is this little guy here. This is a BMW 2002 that I saw come in, except, notice this on the back, the badge, Son of Cobra. This is actually a full carbon fiber 2002, and it is absolutely wonderful. When I saw the flares on this thing, I could just tell that something was special about it. And I literally followed this thing around the parking lot to find out more information. But just look under the hood. That is not the motor that a 2002 came out with, obviously, but just everything done nicely. Big radiator, good brakes, obviously camber adjusters here on the top on the strut house. This is a wonderful looking little car. I don't want to talk about this one too much because I'm actually going to make this thing Car of the Week. So make sure to check out this week's Car of the Week for this incredible little BMW. Now this is pretty. This is a 718 Spider RS. This is just such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful little car. So think of a GT4 RS Cayman, but this of course is the Boxster version, and it's just done so beautifully. Look at the wonderful carbon fiber hood on this thing, and just every angle, massive brakes on it. Of course, it's using that same 4-litre Porsche engine, pretty much the same as what you get in a GT3 RS in a 992. This is just lovely. Look at the ducktail spoiler on this thing. It's just great looking car, great color as well. And you know, Sarah's got her regular 718 Cayman, and that is a great little car to drive, but I can't imagine what this thing would be like, given the fact that obviously this is running the flat 6 4-litre, as well as obviously just having the rest of the stuff the RS package gets. Great car, tons of money too, pulling huge money. But it's seriously, it's one of the best driver's cars you could possibly get. And there's those out there that would argue it's actually better than a GT3 RS because it is mid-engine and has better balance. I just love it. So this is Ryan, one of our regulars at the show, and Ryan has owned a lot of nice cars, and this is one of them over here. This is his Lamborghini, and you'll notice it says on the side, Ryan's World. Who are we having some fun with there, mate?
Well, Skinny's World. Yeah. But now it's Ryan's World.
Yeah, exactly.
He's taken over.
So Ryan's actually taken over. So Skinny, if you're watching this, you've actually lost your place. It's now Ryan's World. And by the way, mate, we keep saying to Skinny, he didn't do it with his R8. He hasn't done it yet with his Huracan. He hasn't put a VF Engineering supercharger on it yet. Are you going to do that?
I don't know. I can't.
He doesn't. He needs to do that because otherwise, well, it's just not fast enough.
It is very boring.
Anyway, Ryan's had a few cool cars here. You used to have, was it FF?
FF. I got kicked out.
Don't
be loud, or you're gonna get sent out.
Straight pipes up and down the street. I can't talk with the cutouts on my Camaro, but we love you, mate. Great to have you here. And hey, Skinny, watch out. Ryan's World is coming. Did somebody say G-Wagon? Oh, we got a few of them through there. Look at this Brabus. This is absolutely insane. Nice green wrap on this one. Great lineup of cars through there. Look at that. And there's actually another one up here as well. I don't think we've had this many G-Wagons at the show at one time. A couple of clubs have joined us this morning. This one is the Vandal Club. What is a Vandal? It's these great little trike. So have a look at this thing. They're really nice. They sort of fit somewhere between, I guess, a Polaris and a Morgan 3-wheeler. I like them because they kind of look modern, but they look retro at the same time. Great little things to drive, apparently. Really cool. So we've got a lineup of those through here. And then behind we've got a local Corvette club as well that's joined us. If you've got a club and you want to bring them to South OC Cars and Coffee, don't forget to reach out to us via social media or our website. That way we can bring you guys in early, party you together like these guys have all done, and you can really make the most of the show. We're joined this morning by Bond and the guys from Rebel Off-Road. They got some cool stuff. This Jeep's pretty amazing looking. They've also done a Tesla, and this is in conjunction with Alpine Car Audio. So actually lifted it, done some killer stuff to it. And then over here, another Jeep again. Welcome to the guys at Well Done Building and Design. They've come in here for the day to talk about the things that they do. Check these guys out. There's a QR code you can scan if you want to find out more. So they have Perfect Air, and then they have their building side as well. Look at this beautiful little Lancia. I don't know anything about this car, but I really like it. It looks 80s to me. Obviously the design, Pininfarina, they did so many beautiful designs of this era, and those wonderful looking wheels on this thing as well. The cars of this era are just beautiful, aren't they? The lines, obviously little mid-engine. It could be late 70s. It's a Scorpion. So a really cool little car. Great. 1977, there we go. 1977 Lancia Scorpion. It's pretty cool. Beautiful little car. A couple of Mercedes here that I got to talk about. Just beautiful. Obviously, look, they're slammed in the weeds. Look, check this thing out. I love these era of Mercedes. This is when they had such a statement. Look at the interior in this thing. It's just absolutely beautiful. There's an original old phone in there, which wouldn't have been in the car originally, I don't think, because that looks, but it must have been one of the very first car phones. But love that steering wheel. Love the look of this thing being slammed. Next to it, another one that we see here all the time. This one's actually a sedan. This is a 280 SE. It says 4.5 there. I'm going to show you something in just a minute, but there's so many really cool things. That also has the phone, but also look over there at that gated shifter. How cool is that thing? Just standing out there, that wonderful steering wheel again. And then under the hood, that's no Mercedes engine that I've ever seen. That's 5.7. So that's an LS1 out of a Corvette sitting underneath there. So this thing will have a little bit of boogie, but great couple of cars next to each other. And then next to it, keep rolling through here. Look at this beautiful Corvette, also running a newer motor in there. That's running an LS3. So that was what was being used in the C6 and then the Gen 5 Camaro like I've got. So that thing would get up and boogie as well. And then next to it, we've got another really nice car. This is an old Plymouth Valiant. In Australia, we had these, but they were a Chrysler Valiant Safari when it was a station wagon. But love this thing with the two-tone paint and that beautiful interior. I mean, have a look at that. It's just so wonderful. And if I look over here, sure enough, it has what Mopar was known for in that era. See that push-button transmission in there? So you actually selected the gear on the actual button, which was kind of cool. Look at the little detail like in the roof here, that roof rack. And then rolling through into the back. So, and then somebody's done something. They put a couple of speakers in there, but they obviously didn't want to cut holes in it. So they've made this color matched little trim there. So that's kind of cool. So that is great to look at. And then we keep rolling around. Next to it, we have a 300SX as well. That's super clean. Look at this thing. Somebody's done a ton of work to this. I love it when you see cars like, I mean, look at the way everything's kept clean. Everything's finished off beautifully. Just really, really neat. A lot of new stuff in there as well by the look of it. And then next to it, we've got a Mustang over here that the owner was one of our regulars, Sam, that comes here, and he was telling me this thing's pulling 9-second quarter miles. So running some serious Mickey Thompsons on the back there. So very, very cool in every direction. A little Morris Minor 1000 Woody. Have a look at this thing. So obviously they're a British car, Morris from the UK. Obviously grew to be around for a long time. This is a 1957 Woody. These were such a simplistic people's car. They did a wide variety of different minors. There was a 1100 as well as 1000. They had sedans obviously, and they had vans like this one here. And this tiny little motor that, if the motor looks familiar, it's because this is basically the same motor that later on would go on to be used in things like the Mini. It would be used in things like versions of similar in the MG, Austin Hilly Sprite, all those sort of things, different variants of size, but reliable little thing, not a lot of power. A friend of mine at school had one that we used to tear around on their farm with, because I grew up on a farm, and you know, you'd be going up a hill and you'd be back in second gear just to go up a hill, but just a simple little car to work on with virtually nothing that can go wrong on it. So look at the size of that tiny little air cleaner on top of that little tiny SU. Great to see, isn't it? Just something a little different at the show. Nice looking Chevy here. Look at these wheels on this thing. They're just beautiful. They're wire spoke, but they're black. Great looking car. The bright work on this thing is wonderful. Just love that interior of this era. Just a wonderful looking car. Love these early SS Impalas. Now, if you can recall, I've shown this on here before, and it'll depend on how good my eyes are. You can look in the back of a tail light of a Chevy. You can tell what year it is. So in the back over here, if my eyes don't fail me, I'm seeing 62 over here. So this is most likely a 1962 Impala, but what a great looking car. Just love the stance on it and the color scheme and those red wall and white wall tires. Very nice. This is the little Citron van I was talking about before. I just heard the gentleman say this is a 1966. I think this is one of the best looking retro vans on the market, period. If you're a business like these guys, actually rent this out. So if you're doing a show, like you want to have some sort of presence there, you can actually rent this and be able to use it. Retro roll, they're called. But look at the way they fitted this thing out. It's just absolutely brilliant. And I love the fact that it looks like it's made from corrugated iron. Obviously it's not, that's all properly rolled metal, but there's just something about these vans and the era. This one's still running a rebuilt version of its original motor, which I think is absolutely wonderful as well. But just, isn't it just so simplistically wonderful on every angle? If you watch the show Wheeler Dealers, you would have seen that Mike and crew actually did up one of these as well. And you go to Europe and you'll find these all over the place being used. We're going to roll some pretty cool cars here. This beautiful old Ford in this gold looks wonderful. Next to it, 1932. Love the fact this has still got the side panels on it as well, and it's also got the louvered hood on it, and then a huge roof chop on this thing. I'm guessing there's probably 3.5, 4 inches out of the hood. Next to it, what looks to me like an old Mercury running a blower on there, Edelbrock blower on a small block Chev by the look of it. That's super cool. Keep rolling back through here. Chevy 3100, so you know, probably something in the realms of 1948 or so. Very, very cool. Very nice Impala sitting here running an LS with a Whipple sitting on top of it. Very nice. So that means it's probably running about probably 9 pounds of boost, depending on the harmonic balancer it's running. Beautiful interior as well. I really like the way that the instrumentation looks modern, but it still looks like it belongs in there. Same with the interior, very, very pretty. Beautiful paint color as well. Like you look at the back of this thing, it's just very, very nice. I love this era of car. They're just wonderful. I love the carpet too. Have a look at that. The carpet just really looks like it belongs in this era car. Very nice. This is a sweet looking little 32 here. I really like the style of this era of hot rod. The thing I really like the most on this is the fact they've kept the original flathead V8 on this. It just really suits the era of car in my opinion. Other nice things, I love the fact that it's got this split windshield in it, and notice how it's been laid back slightly. And then it's got that 32 radiator in it, but that's also been shortened by the look of things as well. Just running those Firestone ply tyres on there as well, front and back, just to keep it sort of period correct. Just a wonderful looking little car.
That the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business.
Look what just rolled in, a Jolly, eh? Isn't this great? This is a Fiat 600 that basically undergoes this amazing treatment to be able to use, well, let's think about this. Let's say we have a yacht at the marina in Monaco and we want to get from our villa down to the yacht. This is what you would use, a Fiat Jolly. Look at those beautiful seats, those rattan style seats. And sometimes you'll actually see a roof on them that's actually got a like a little bobble fringe around the outside. Great little car. Everybody loves them when they roll in. It is just a real crowd pleaser.
All I do is rap though. Yeah. Want me on your song? Throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. No. Do my own thing and I maintain. Woo. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah.
Well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to do a big shout out to all of our sponsors. We have the Bracketeer, Wear Marketing, Mazda, Maguire's, iAccident Attorneys, Next Level Auto Protection, Sierra Ineos Grenadier, Carbontastic, Happy Jewelers, Beckworth Financial, Josh the Auto Buyer, Cornwall Bank or Realty, and now also announcing that Hillbank Superformance are part of our show as well. So you'll start seeing those guys here on a regular basis with those amazing Cobras, Corvettes, Daytonas, etc. I want to do a big shout out to all of our volunteers. We could not do the show without them. Remember, if you want to become a volunteer, hit us up on our South OC Cars and Coffee merch Instagram page. That's where you'll also find all of our great merch, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, stickers, license plate surrounds, you name it. If you become a volunteer, you get to bring your car in early and Ruby's gives you a free coffee and donut as well. I want to do a big thank you to Ruby's for doing that and also feeding the masses, and a big thank you to the outlets of San Clemente for allowing us to be here too. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We're going to see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.